Hello friends, it's Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming. How's everyone doing today? Hope you're doing well and welcome to my channel. I'm here to do a flip through of a new journal that is in my shop when you see this video. But it's a bunny journal and I have the gift or the little surprise goodies there, that come along with all my journals ready to go. So this is the little tie closure. It's a piece of fabric that matches the spine fabric on this one, and the little charm I have on this one, I had one on my last journal too, and so this one is it's a little wooden tag. See, little wooden tag. If you've ever had one of these and you didn't know what to do with it, I made this quite a while ago on a video, and it was a lot of fun, and I myself need to remember to do this when I get a wooden item. It's like one of those wooden, it's a wooden tag. It was just plain wood. I decoupaged it or Mod Podged it with some napkin, so a flowered napkin, and then I used a rubber stamp on it, and just, rubber stamped on in the black ink, Walking on Sunshine. So easy as that, right? I think I already had this hole in it, and I just added the ball chain and a little charm here that says, let me get it right side up here so I can read it, Imagine. So super cute little, makes a super cute little charm, right? A couple of items and you've got yourself a cute little charm. So this is the book for this journal, Toby Bunny's Secret Hiding Place. It's a telltale book. And again, I added a couple of pieces up here like I did the last one. It's like a half of a doily and a little ribbon flower. Here's the spine, 3 signatures. Here's the back. I covered the barcode with a piece of very vintage fabric. This was from my quilt, my tattered quilt square that I used, and I'm still using the remnants of it because I have used most of it. And so here's a little square right there with a little doily. So let's just get started with our flip through. I'm going to explain things in detail because because I didn't do a lot of this on video, and in case you're new, maybe you want to know how I did something, right? So anyway, if you're familiar with the Telltale books, they have a pretty little picture inside the cover. So like here's the front, here's the back, and I didn't put any pockets there or anything because I didn't want to cover up any of that. So here's our 3 signatures. Let me just show you these are tags and paper clips sticking out of the top here. And there's some trims that are sewn on the pages, so you can see those there. It's chunky because of the charms and ephemera I have in here, but it is filled with the signatures, and then, then I added the ephemera and things, so, you know how that goes. Anyway, as we open up, the first signature has this pretty, trim here, and that is... all the trims are sewn on, the pockets are sewn together, things like that are all sewn by me on my sewing machine. And so the first little pocket here, I have this little, it's like a recipe card that I decorated with a little bunny fussy cut from one of my bunny books. And this was a cut apart in a scrapbook paper pad. So there you go, put them all together and you have yourself a cute little journaling card. And then this was one of those little booklets I had shown you in one of my thrifty videos, where it's a little booklet, it's magnetic, and it just opens up like that. And you have all of that journaling space. I mean, that really is a ton of, you could do a lot of writing in there, you know what I mean? So that's pretty cool. That just fits in that pocket. And so the beginning of each signature is covered with a double-sided piece of scrapbook paper, which is cardstock, So here is, this is eclectic but spring and bunny themed, basically. So lots of different papers in here. So this is a piece of the paper bag that had the newsprint on it, decorated with newsprint like print. And so I cut the paper bag up and made a page in here. It was in my last bunny journal too. And this is a little tag here I made with a red ticket and a little mini flashcard. So you have writing room there. I tried to leave lots of writing room throughout the whole journal. This is graph paper here. This is wallpaper. And I covered the back just because it had some, you know, the label from the wall print company. And this is a piece I had received as a free sample from the wallpaper company that I ordered it from, and then covered it with coffee dyed paper so it could be blank and written on and things. But I did put a belly band here, which is sewn on and collaged. And this is a little, just a journaling card I made from one of the like peach colored divider cards. And, you know, just a little collaging there, and then a couple butterflies on the back, but there's lots of writing room here. And I like the little tab here to kind of use it as the, you know, little pull that you can use to take it out from under the belly band. And then there's some, oh, this is a piece of paper from the vintage record. It was a LP record sleeve, you know, the paper that goes over the record to protect it. I cut it up and made pages out of it. So this is one of the pages from that vintage LP. And then there's some more random kind of papers from my book, vintage books, you know, I have so many. But this looks like it was from crochet book. And I sewed on, I really love to sew tabs on the foldovers. So this is a vintage florist card, and everything in here is, you know, authentic, vintage, you know, no digital prints in this journal. So yeah, that's a little vintage florist card. And this is graph paper here. This is just an, you know, an article or page from a magazine, vintage magazine right here. You can see the age on it. This is a divider card, and you'll see the rest of it back here with the tab, but it is appetizers, and that's the other half. So I made it into a page. It's cardstock, and I put a flip up, flip down here. This is was the title page from the Velveteen Rabbit, and it was blank, so I thought it would be a great writing spot. So I cut it down a little bit to fit here. Added this little flower and button as a kind of a tab and to help hold that little flap down. And I left it open behind and put this piece of ephemera here. Vintage from 1975. It's a little karate card. It's from probably a child that was going to karate class in 1975. And I found it at the thrift store. You can write on the back here, but I just thought that was fun to add a little piece of lace or trim there, that lace that I recently picked up from a thrift store. So this is from my herb book that I had recently found pages, or this book I recently found. Yeah, this is the one where I found a whole book at the thrift store. There was one book where I just found pages of kind of like herb type pages, and they were so pretty with the herbs, you know. They're just, those herb pages are so pretty. So put one there as the centerpiece. It has a recipe on the back here, but isn't that so pretty? All of the little strings in the centers of the signatures have little buttons to match, you know, the book or the pages surrounding it. This one has a pink and a purple button, and I think I tied them all in a, or at least the first two, maybe all of them in a little bow too. I just thought that was pretty. So here is a vintage, very old postcard. It's kind of Eastery. Do I see a year here? Gosh, I see 1915 on this one. So yeah, I have a lot of old postcards. So this is one of them. You can tell that's an old one. It does say Easter season right there. So it's a real pretty pastel colored card there for Easter. Here's that divider recipe card, you know, from a recipe index divider, some kind of, you know, library, a recipe library. And then just some more. This is the back half now of what you just saw. So the pages you just saw. I did sew on Uncle Wiggily, a little child's card game here. I sewed that card as the tab on this little fold out. And just some more. This is from the record. This is the wallpaper. And then you see, you've seen these. Here I sewed on a little mini Rolodex card as the tab on this fold out. That's the paper bag with a newsprint. And here's the back cover of the first signature where I have a pocket, some of that trim sewn on there. And this is I put one of these in, I'm putting one of these in each of the bunny journals. It's my collage Monopoly money tags. So, and this is a piece of that quilt, that very vintage quilt that I told you I used I'm using every single piece. And this was a strip here, a little scrap, and I made a little topper on this tag. And the colors went with this too. I thought that worked out nicely. So here's the beginning of the next signature. Now in this signature, the trims I have are a kind of a vintage fabric lace. Fabric trim. So if you've ever seen that, it's sometimes it has a pattern on it like this, and it is kind of stiff. So maybe that'll help you know what I'm talking about when I say fabric trim, vintage fabric trim. So that's that page, and that's sewn on. And so in this signature, I have all the pages from the book in order, and then in between the pages I've added other, fun, eclectic pages. So like this is from a guest book. This is from right here is from a vintage program from a high school, like a football program. They have some really good advertisements in those. I have some of those in my shop if you would like to try one out. This is from a cross-stitch, book pattern. And this is I think I made this on video, this little tag right here, or a big tag, big bunny tag. And those came out so pretty. I have a little piece of this is some vintage fabric I picked up at a thrift store. And then this is a little tiny bunny tag. Let me keep my place here. But yeah, I had these two pieces sitting on my desk here. And I was like, I'm going to put these in my next journal. Because they were just random pieces sitting here. And it was just this little tag and a little bunny sticker. So I made it put them together and made that little miniature bunny tag. I thought it was funny and cute. So that is in there. What is down in there? Something's in there. Okay. I can get that down in there. Okay, so here's more pages from the book. This is from the record. Again, record album page. That's from the record album page. So let's see, no, we didn't pass the middle yet. And so yeah, there's several of those. And then here's vintage music. That is also avocado dyed, I believe. I made a little tuck spot out of this little bunny that I fussy cut from one of my bunny books. And just added two little tags here. This is like a little garden-y type tag just made from a scrap of manila folder and some rubber stamping. And this is just a little piece of scrapbook paper where I added a piece of fabric. It's stapled on, and you can use that you can put that on somewhere as a tuck spot, or you can write on it as a journaling spot. So very useful. And let's see what else we have here. Oh, here's the middle, and I have a blue and green button to match these pages because you see all the blue and green there. And then we're on the back half of the second signature here. Lots of fun pages, and there's still writing room here, on all of these pages. And you can always, in the goodie bag here, I have some coffee dye paper. So if you wanted to cut it up anywhere and add a writing spot with that, you can do that. I wanted to make sure I added that in for you. And then here's the little Peeps notebook I put in this one. It has I'm trying to figure out what that paper is, but I made a little hinge there, and then added some scraps pages from no, it's not Rit dyed, it's actually tie dyed papers. And then I have a little bunny sticker in this one right here, and that's the Peeps little playing card. So you got a chick in the back and a bunny in the front, and that is all sewn in. I just sewed right down the middle with my sewing machine and left the strings. So that's also lots of writing room there, or whatever you might want to do with that. It's so cute. And then the rest of this signature here, writing room. And this is the last page of this signature. Here I have just clipped on here is a tally, bridge tally card. It's vintage, I believe. Does it have a year on it? I don't see a date on there, but I believe that's vintage. And then I have my little bunny charm here hanging that I made from the Dollar Tree erasers. So that one's hanging right there on a paper clip. And here I couldn't find a pocket for this, so I just stuck it right here in between the signatures. So I might not leave it there. I might put it in the goodie bag when I send it out to its new home. But this is, I just made this from cardstock, and I had collaged some Monopoly money on the inside here of this scrap, you know, this cardstock, then cut it down and made it into a little notebook. Here's a piece of fabric on the spine that, let's see, it's just a piece of fabric I had left from the first bunny journal, and cut a piece to put on the spine there. So you've got a nice little fabric spine. It's sewn around here also with some zigzag stitching, and then several pieces again of my tie-dyed paper. There's a couple of fold outs here where I didn't want to cut it off. You know how you cut it down to fit. I didn't want to just, you know, cut off a little sliver and have to throw that in the trash. So I just made a little fold over there, and there's another fold over here, I believe. Let me get this separated. Hold on. Let me get this separated. Got some glue there. Okay. Anyway, there's a fold out there. You know that happens. Okay, and here's where I sewed right down the middle. Put a pretty piece of the tie-dye in the middle, so you'd have lots of color, but there's lots of writing room in here also. Fold outs. And if you like color and fun stuff, you will like this little mini journal. So, third signature here. This trim is another trim I picked up recently at one of the my new thrift store that I've been going to. On this tab and this tab here, the front and back cover of the signature, I did a little, like a little snippet cluster. So it's got 3 layers. It's a layer, I think this is some blanket, you know, the blanket trim. So that's on the bottom, and then a piece of that very old quilt. Then this lace is from a very old like dresser scarf that I had picked up at a thrift store, and it was just kind of tattered. And I was like, well, that's the perfect thing for me to cut up and use. So I have a piece of the lace trim from that right there, and I didn't coffee dye it. That's whatever color you see, that's either the color it was or age. So I just think that it's really beautiful lace on there that just aged very nicely. So then the next page here, I have clipped on a journaling card with a paper clip that I decorated. The little topper is from one of my vintage sheets, strip from that, a little tiny strip. And this is some of that pretty yellow ledger that has the red, like red, turquoise, and purple lines, really pretty. And it did have some writing on it, so I didn't let that deter me. I just used it anyway. I actually like that. So this piece actually only has 1 number on it, so lots of writing room there. This is like that logarithmic paper that I received from Maria. Love it. Thank you, Maria. Here's a bunny card here. So you've got lots of writing room or decorating or whatever you want to do there. This is a piece of, this is from, it looks like it's from a gardening book. And then on the back, I put another piece of that logarithmic, just to give those 2 pages some stability together. And those are sewn together. So, and then here's another piece of page. And then music, you know, the music where you write your own notes on there, that music paper. And then lots of writing room here, ledger. In the middle here, I added a piece of page from Edith Holden book. And the buttons here match this page with some orange button and a little golden kind of yellow button tied in a bow again. And you can untie this bow. This is not holding the signatures together or anything. There's already double knot underneath here, and then I tied the bow on top of that. So there's no reason not to untie the bow if you wanted to. And the other strings and the other signatures, I did not tie knots on the end. So if you actually wanted to move the buttons around, you could. These 2 buttons had a little bit bigger holes. I think both of these had bigger holes on, so I tied knots in the bottom of these so those buttons wouldn't slip off. But now we're on the back half of the 3rd signature, and just the same pages that you just saw. I put a little flower cut out here on that logarithmic paper, and this is the one that's backed with copy dyed paper. And then here is a belly band. So belly bands can go any way you want, and there's so many different kinds, but these are collaged. This one is across this way, horizontal. It says strive for greatness there. And then this is a post-it or one of those tri-fold, you know, mailer type things where you write a letter and then you fold it up, seal it, and send it on its way. And you put the stamp on there. I added this little fabric bunny that I received some fabric with bunnies on it from a friend, and just cut that out and put that on there and made this into a journaling spot. So I thought those really turned out cute. And here on this page I have a actual vegetable seed packet that I picked up at an estate sale, and I added this little flower here with it had a little gem there and a ladybug already on it, so just a cute little decoration. And then left the back open where I have this envelope. This was one of my Roxy Weekly Challenge envelopes where it has a flap, and then it opens up with this bridge score paper. It has a little, you know, insert here, or a little place that's, you know, makes it easy to get in and out, and you can put things in there. And it's decorated with, you know, bunnies and flowers. So that was in the back of that envelope, a little back tuck spot. And then inside, this is the flap of the envelope, and inside I have a little journaling card too, a little pink, pretty little pink one. It has butterflies and flowers on it. So I just put that in there as little, and left it out so you can get to it, you know what I mean? So it doesn't fall down in there and you can't, it makes it hard to get it. So here is that logarithmic paper, and I had this little, this is a fabric paisley that I had picked up some fabric, or actually a shirt that had these pretty designs on it that I liked, and I don't think I showed it to you. I already cut it up. I don't believe I ever showed it to you on my thrifty videos, because I just, you know, when I'm watching TV, I like to have something to do, and that was the next thing I was going to cut up, so I just already cut it up. But this little paisley matched this paper so perfectly that I just sewed it right on here as a little tab. So I thought that was fun. And I told you that I've been liking to be sewing tabs on all my little fold outs. So on this fold out, this is the yellow or golden yellow kind of ledger paper here that has the writing, several numbers on here. But this one I sewed on a milk cap. And I don't believe I've tried to sew one on before, and I thought, I don't know if my sewing machine's going to sew through there. They feel hard. I was like, I don't know. I was ready to say, I'm going to have to glue that on. I don't think but then I thought, well, let me just try it. So I did, and it actually went through there with no problem. So I was like, oh, well, I'm glad I tried it, because I had my doubts that my sewing machine was going to go through there. So just FYI, the Brother Project Runway sewing machine will sew through these milk caps, or at least this one. It's not that thick, but it just feels hard, you know what I mean? But it just went right through it like no problem. So then the last couple of pages here, this is one of my quadruple pockets that I made a few of these, because I was trying to kind of copy is it a Tim Holtz die that people use that have all the little slits or slots where you can put in little pieces of ephemera. And I don't have one of those, and I don't think I have any way of making one myself except for something like this. So I just made this with scrapbook paper, and I folded it in so it has several slots to put things in. And so like here's the first pocket where I have a little, these are the cut up parts from scrapbook paper I've been using in these. Here's another one here that says beautiful. This one says, oh, hello. This one says you're cute. And then this is a little vintage bunny card, an invitation where I just got this at a thrift store, just the front. I don't know if it came like that and it had a back and someone cut it off. I would imagine that's what happened. Somebody cut off the back. But isn't it cute and really pretty, actually. The colors and the little bunnies on there. I just thought that was so pretty. Anyway, that is in back where it's actually in back of this whole thing, but I left it open as a pocket there. So here, I already showed you a little cluster on the back cover, and the trims, I guess I showed you that. The trim here on the back cover, and, you know, each signature has its own trim. So like, you know, this one in the front cover had that, and we're at the back. So that is the journal, and I really enjoyed working on that. Those are so fun. And then here's a little goodie pack. I'll show you a little bit of what's in here. I kind of just went around and cleaned up my desk and just loaded this up with what I had and what I thought someone could use to have fun in this journal. So here's some little note papers. They're kind of vintagey looking. There's a few of them there, a couple at least. And then some journaling cards, some cut aparts from that scrapbook paper pad. Some of the vintage book pages from the bunny journals that I've been using. I have plenty. So I thought, well, why not put some in here for you to do whatever with, cut them apart, whatever, make ephemera. Some scraps, these are scraps of the, like the logarithmic paper, and scraps of the scrapbook paper too. Like there's several here, they're double. Some of these are, I think these are, that's one-sided, but these are two, you know, double-sided here. So just some pretty scrapbook papers. You know, that's always handy. I like that to have. I do that in my own journal when I make myself a journal, and I put all my scraps in the journal, and they're right there ready to go when you want to do a little spread or layout. And you know, it makes it very handy to just do something quick in your, these are some of the tie-dye papers, little scraps. This is some pretty like pastel fabric that would go with this journal. And then here's the coffee dye paper I was talking about. And I'm sure I'll probably think of a couple more things I want to put in here, but my bag's already full. But I'll probably put a couple more little things in there. Look around here and see what else I want to put in there. So that is it. And by the time you see this, it will be in my Etsy shop. So I hope you enjoyed this one. And I've got one more to work on. I've got it partially done, but I'm kind of just finishing up one at a time because I don't want to miss anything. So this is my next one, the 5 little bunnies. And this is a little golden book. The other 2 were Telltale. And this is a little golden book. So that's next. Hopefully I'll get that one done in the next week. And then we'll do a flip through of that one. So thank you everybody for watching today, and have a great week. And I'll see you next time. Happy crafting.